Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We are very happy to have you at our launch event of the latest product of mysupply, what is the negotiation plugin for SAP Ariba sourcing. My name is Vasilena Dimitrova, and I am part of mysupply's business development team. mysupply is a Hamburg-based startup with the vision to disrupt the sourcing processes in the world of procurement. We are convinced that digitalization in procurement has a very, very great potential, especially in the area of negotiations. And we firmly believe that the most modern technology should be used to generate an exchange between suppliers and buyers. That ensures, of course, sustainable future for both sides. Together with our advisory board, we are working to provide our customers with a completely new sourcing experience. As a member of SupplyTex, we are also working with other startups to change the future of procurement. Our international team is based in Germany, Bulgaria, Tunisia, and Ukraine, and our aim is to change the future of sourcing and negotiations. We are going to bring sourcing to the next level. Today, we're going to tell you more about mysupply, our history, our latest product, and of course, you will be one of the first people who are going to see our negotiation plugin for SAP Ariba sourcing live. So I will pass the ball to our CEO, Andreas Zimmermann, who is going to tell you more about mysupply and how we came to this point today.
Thank you so much, Vasilena. It's really a pleasure today to be able to present our new plugin. So basically, we started with mysupply quite a while ago and have been working with many companies already and have been learning a lot. And for us, it was in particular very interesting to get into the ecosystems of our customers, because having a product which is not really integrated into what the standard processes of the daily business are is of course pretty difficult. And so we basically started our journey of integration with SAP Ariba, because this is the most commonly used procurement suite that is available. And so in particular, we can show you today what we do with this SAP Ariba sourcing plugin, what we created. So basically what mysupply is dealing with is, we're currently in a situation, you all know, we have a really high inflation, we have supply chain shortages, we have a world of crisis, and of course you know what happens to the energy prices those days. So the procurement departments are quite busy in focusing on dealing with these crises. And this is not easy, and it needs the full focus of each and everyone who is responsible for the sourcing in companies. And nevertheless, there is a lot of money out there which can be saved by doing very good negotiations. But currently, the money is getting lost, and we are not really in many companies doing a lot of intense negotiation. We just miss the time what we need for being able to do so. So everybody's just focusing on the key problems in the company, which is of course crucial and of course very important for making the supply chain more secure and stable for everyone. But of course, there are still a lot of stuff out there which needs to be done, and especially negotiation and intense negotiation is not done because there is, in many cases, not enough resources to do so. So this is what we focus on with mysupply. So there is a lot of tenders out there where in the end of the tender, there's not really an intense negotiation. And what we do with mysupply, we integrate into the tender processes and add a plugin here, which makes it possible to do an automated negotiation after the tender process without any effort. And this is something which saves millions to companies. For a company with a purchasing volume of about 500 million, it can easily save 11 and more millions of euros. I want to tell you a bit more about what mysupply does in general. So we started as a standalone complete sourcing solution. which means we're able to enter the tender. We do the request, which is quite simple to handle by everyone, not only by the procurement departments and procurement expert, but also by the people in the business who have the demand. And so we are all able to invite suppliers. We integrated a supplier search, which is able to deal with more than 60 million suppliers and invites them very easily to a tender. And then we take over, especially when it comes to the evaluation. So we help a lot evaluating these offers, especially things which could be automated. Is of course one of the major things we would like to do, especially when it comes, for example, to sustainability. So there's providers like our partners from EcoTrack who have sustainability data which can be easily taken into account during the evaluations. You will see later a bit how this works in detail. And then the really funny part of mysupply starts, and this is we do an automated lot creation, which means if you have different items in a tender, we put them together in reasonable lots. This means that we're combining, of course, availability, where some supplier says, I can offer this part, but not this part. We put these together and put it in combination with prices. And this is also what you see later, where we are really trying to do the best for each negotiation and getting the best bundle. And then, of course, the most funny part starts. And for each and every lot, we as mysupply say, based on our AI and game theory driven algorithm, what is the best negotiation method for each and every lot? And then, if wanted, we also execute the negotiation directly. So by doing so, we drive the efficiency of the process and, of course, drives the savings to a different level. We learned from a lot of our customers that they're using solutions like SAP Ariba, SAP for HANA, Beneering, and Coupa. But yeah, so we have a nice complete sourcing solution, and there is this ecosystem of Ariba and so on. And so the question was, how can we integrate into these ecosystems? And what we did is we developed the plugin. And the plugin extends the sourcing process, what you see in number 1 and number 2 here on that slide, and extends it by additional capabilities in terms of evaluation, lot creation, and automated negotiation. And we're very happy to show you today a bit more in detail how this works. And so I would like to hand over to my lovely colleague, Ronnie, who will give you a few more information about how mysupply works with SAP Ariba.
Great. Thanks a million, Andreas, for the lovely introduction. Most of you most likely are here because they are already using SAP Ariba, they're looking at it, they're implementing it, maybe they support it as partners. So for us, it is quite crucial to also tell you what is so specific, what makes the difference with our SAP Ariba sourcing plugin. So if we're having a look at the challenges a lot of users of SAP Ariba face at the moment is that to set up a successful negotiation on SAP Ariba, it requires skills. It's time consuming, and it definitely requires very strategic forward thinking. The combination of which makes the team challenged and often also leads to maybe bad, maybe not perfect results. If you look a little bit more detail, we see that often it's unclear, especially when your SAP Ariba is set up in a way that requires you to choose the negotiation methods in the beginning, right? So it's quite unclear how the quotes you receive are. So how can you set up a negotiation method there, which gives you like a very, very unclear perspective of what will be the best negotiation strategy in the future, right? On the other side, it's quite time consuming if you receive, let's say, 5 quotations with 10 different items from 5 different vendors, right? So you have like 50 items and a whole lot of combinations, which is really tedious to figure out how to best build your lots, optimizing for negotiation strategy. And especially when you look at the negotiation strategies, they're quite complex, right? So they're difficult to understand and to learn for the procurement side, but even more for the supplier side. Just imagine your supplier is first time responding to a tender of yours on SAP Ariba, and now he's invited to negotiate for a negotiation strategy. He might not be aware of what is this Dutch auction, this English auction. He's never done that. He might not even be aware of it. All of that causes a couple of issues, right? Because often SAP Ariba is not used for every tender, not for every negotiation, not for every request, right? So the amount of tenders is often too low where you could use SAP Ariba just because you fear the lot building or the negotiation afterwards, and it's not worth doing the effort then. On the other side, if you have a low number of tender on SAP Ariba, it also means you don't negotiate often enough, so it results in a lower number of negotiations. On the other side, there's a low participation of suppliers. If you ask them to do something they don't understand, right? So it means you're losing potentially suppliers. And on the other side, you definitely are using a lot of potential cost savings. That's why we implemented the SAP Ariba sourcing plugin, right? So we're basically going right at the end of your tendering process, and you set it up in SAP Ariba as you used to do. There's no changes needed on that side. It's just a tiny little button that needs to be added, right? We take care with our tool then on the whole evaluation, lot creation, and automation, which we're going to see shortly. And at the end of the process, it's going to be handed back to SAP Ariba, right at the contract workspace. So all of your follow-up processes will also work seamlessly and flawlessly with no changes needed, because all of those approvals that happens on the contract space is already there. This gives us the additional potential to save up to 11%, using mysupply. Taking you a little bit further, what does mysupply do, right? So we see an impression on the left side, which puts a whole strategy engine there, helping you to automatically cut the requested items into lots, and for each and every lot, suggesting the best negotiation method fitting. We're looking at, as Andreas already mentioned, the price differences. Is every item quoted? Is there items which were only quoted by one supplier or two? We also figure out, based on the category, for example, is a Dutch negotiation more successful or an English auction, right? And the good thing is, by supporting bot negotiation, English reverse auction, Dutch auctions, even close bid tenders, right? It is very, very simple for you to use and gives you always the best option in each and every case. But as most of you joined here for a short demo, right? I will give you the scenario we're going to see shortly. Just imagine you being Mark. Mark is working in procurement, and he just got the task, hey, we are getting a lot of new employees. Please equip the work desks of the new employees joining. Now he starts a sourcing. He needs to buy some laptops, some desktop PCs, some docking stations, some laser printers, a couple of business monitors, maybe some microservers. Yeah, it easily can come up to €500,000. And that's the scenario our lovely colleague Ilyana is now going to present to you.
Mark is a strategic buyer for a machinery company, and he is responsible for sourcing IT hardware. For a lot of products, he faces a seller's market and increasing prices. In his company, they use SAP Ariba for sourcing, but they do not do a lot of digital negotiation because he is unsure of the current market situation and when to use the right negotiation method. Now, we will see how Mark's procurement power can be significantly increased by using mysupply SAP Ariba Negotiation Plugin. In the next steps, we will see how this would look like when Mark uses SAP Ariba for the creation of the RFP and mysupply plugin for the negotiation part. In the end, we will see the awarding process and how the data will be transferred back to Ariba as a basis to create the contract workspace. The process starts with the creation of a project in SAP Ariba Sourcing as normally. Mark uses the description field to enter the needed products. As event type, he picks RFP no matter what negotiation type will be conducted later in the process. With mysupply plugin, the negotiation method is chosen only after we have a fundamental overview of binding and relevant offers. The process only takes 15 minutes per company to set it up, allowing Mark to use it for any RFP with just one click. By clicking on Create, Every relevant data from suppliers will be shared with mysupply automatically. And here we can see the test environment for creating the RFP within Ariba, so we can get the whole picture of the process. Now, Mark can define the response start date and the due date for the RFP. He defines the team members involved, and in this step, he chooses the suppliers he wants to involve in the RFP. Here, it is possible to see the whole content of the RFP and see historical prices of the goods he has been buying in the past. For example, the keyboard Dell KB216. In the summary, Mark can double-check the content he created in the current RFP. Before clicking submit and sending out the invitation to the supplier to participate in this RFP. Now, after all the suppliers send their offers, it's time for them to be evaluated by mysupply. Mark has received 5 offers in total. On this step, it is possible to enter evaluation criteria for either an automated or a manual evaluation of the suppliers and their offers. For this case, Mark decides to include a sustainability score into the total cost of ownership evaluation, leading to a potential bonus or malus during the automated negotiation. With other words, it would allow suppliers to be more competitive when they have a better sustainability score. One of mysupply's partner for fetching this data automatically without any effort for Mark's company is EcoTrack. It should be defined by Mark what impact the score will have as a percentage on the weighted price, and then the data will be automatically made actionable. In this case, the weight is 5%. We can see now that the evaluation has been updated. In the next step, lots will be created as there are multiple items in the tender. In this overview, we can see the requested items are on the left side, and on the top are the suppliers. In total, there are 5 suppliers that provided offers for up to 10 items, but some of them provided offers only for some of the requested items. That makes it complicated and time-consuming to sort them in a meaningful way. mysupply's lot algorithm makes Mark's life much easier by sorting the offers in a way which allows a maximum of competition on a lot level. The lot creation algorithm creates lots based on the number of offers for each item, the price difference, and the respective category. Here the items are sorted into 4 lots in total. To give an example of the intelligence of the lot creation, Negotiation 1 covers all items which could be supplied by all suppliers. There is just one exception, the keyboard. They're in a separate negotiation as the offer from a supplier called Konstantin Hübner is far away from the average. That would have a very negative impact on the results for negotiation 1. Therefore, this item is being negotiated separately. mysupply also proposes to negotiate the USB PC headset separately, only a single provider offered a price. That leads to optimal negotiation methods for each negotiation lot without any effort for Mark and building up the foundation for a competitive digital negotiation. Now, it is possible to choose the lots for initiating the further digital negotiation with. Our digital game theory and AI-driven algorithm proposes the optimal negotiation type for each lot. mysupply proposes a negotiation for the next working day automatically. Mark reviews and approves all the proposals, and all is left to do is to click on Schedule. By doing so, the suppliers are receiving an email informing them about the fact that the negotiation based on their offer is planned and that they are invited to participate. Moreover, they get the full explanation and information they need on how to participate during the negotiation. In the further demo, we will see how exactly the negotiation will be executed for just one of the tendered items. This will give a more straightforward explanation of the mysupply negotiation workflow. Our strategy engine has selected the English reverse auction as the best suitable type for the current negotiation. On the left side, we can see the point of view from supplier number 1, and the right side shows the screen from supplier number 2. As the algorithm proposed, we will witness an English reverse auction and the suppliers bidding against each other. For simplification, we see only two suppliers, but there is technically no limit. As described at the bottom for the suppliers, during the negotiation, the suppliers will be shown a price which they can agree to by clicking the I bid button. In an English reverse auction, the suppliers place their bids on the items in a live auction held over a limited duration of time. The auction is normally awarded to the supplier with the lowest bid, but the buyer could consider factors such as the sustainability score, the quality level of suppliers, delivery time records, and others before awarding the auction. The price decreases gradually within the auction, and the process only ends when a bidder is not underbidden by the competition. You might also feel a certain level of tension arising when the suppliers are trying to stay ahead of each other. When the negotiation ends, each supplier is informed about the negotiation results, so a manual email back and forth is not needed. The winner in this auction is Renate Schulz, and she is awarded for the contract automatically. mysupply automatically transfers the results from the negotiation back to the purchase-to-pay process within SAP Ariba by creating a contract workspace. In today's example, digital negotiation, this would be the successful supplier Renate Schulz and her offer for the keyboard which Mark needed to buy for his company. And this is the whole and easy workflow within mysupply SAP Ariba Negotiation Plugin. We are focusing on carrying successful negotiations, saving Mark's time and money so he can focus on more important parts of his work. Because after all, the future is digital.
Right. Thanks, Eliana, for the great demo and giving us an overview on the product as well as on its capabilities and on the integration into SAP Ariba software, landscape, and processes. If you look at the result for Mark, we find, hey, we sourced all of our items, yeah, we saved 11%, and actually Mark says, wow, I just saved 55,000 euro with mysupply. It was quite easy. How to get this easy implementation going, my lovely colleague Estelle will show us now.
Hello everyone, my name is Estelle and I would like to walk you through our onboarding process and show you how we care for our customers. The onboarding is the place where we can really take care of the individual needs of our customers, which will make the experience even easier for them and make sure they get the most of our tool. After the order is complete, we will have our first meeting where we will have a brief introduction meeting and then begin with the onboarding of the customer key users. Then we will support them with the setup of the first negotiation and go through the steps together to make sure that the logic of the tool is understood. Once the negotiation is complete, we will have our first customer success review meeting where we will review the first negotiation results and talk about how we could optimize their customer experience. Then we will discuss the next negotiations planned, and if the team needs further support, we will make sure we are there at every step and provide information about everything they need to be successful. Then we'll create an individual optimization plan and have a second review meeting with the customer when we could review the results of the first negotiation, talk about the generated benefits, and create an integration plan for the key users according to the customer needs. Putting their needs at the center of what we do is the way to make sure we align on the expectations, the objectives, and the key results. This will also help us to create a roadmap for new features based on the needs that they have. In addition, we also provide support for the suppliers and the purchasers via chat, phone, and email. They can reach us anytime through the channels shown on the screen. For further support in our in-depth knowledge base, both for buyers and suppliers, provides all the information needed with step-by-step processes supported with short videos and tips and tricks for successful negotiations. That was all from my side for today. Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions or want an individual meeting, you can always contact us and we will be happy to talk to you. Now my colleague Milku, the head of mysupply software development, will tell you more about the technical side of our product. Milko, the stage is yours.
Hello, my name is Milko. I'm the head of software development at mysupply. In terms of technical stuff, I don't know if everybody's interested in it. Let's say that this is the magic that happens when you put the engineers of mysupply and SAP to work together. So thanks to them as well. Uh, Let me tell you about where we are and what our plans are in terms of where our product is going. So, Andreas already talked about the complete sourcing solution that we have created and started back in 2021. Today, we're gathered here to talk about our negotiation plugin for SAP Ariba sourcing that we're launching. This is the first plugin that we have created, and next on the road, there's more. So what we want to do is bring the value that mysupply provides to even more customers. So currently, what we're working on is an integration for the SAP Ariba guided buying. This is what we plan to launch next. Then we're going to continue with the SAP ecosystem by providing an integration to SAP HANA. And we're also considering and working on an integration with the Coupa system. In the same time, we're also trying to improve our product in all the means that we can. One thing that we're doing of a rather significance is we're creating a new type of negotiation. This is a bot negotiation, which we believe will give our customers the opportunity to increase their savings even more. At the same time, we're also working on AI models for our system. We want to make our negotiations even more intelligent, and by using artificial intelligence, what we're doing is collecting data from our customers, negotiations that we have already conducted, that will conduct, our items that have gone through our system in order to train our AI through machine learning so that we can provide, as we said, truly intelligent sourcing. So this is it from me regarding our current plans. And thank you for your attention. Vasilena, back to you, please.
Hello again. So, yeah, thanks to everyone from the team for presenting their part of the story. Thanks for everyone who is watching and was part of our first demo of our latest solution. And just to sum it up, we said that maybe many times, but yeah, we are going to bring procurement negotiations to the next level, and we're going to do that effortlessly. So when we say easy implementation, we really mean it. It takes only 15 minutes, and you do not need like a whole team, technical team for doing that. Moreover, security is really important for us. So our servers are based in Germany, and we are 100% GDPR compliant. As you saw with Mark's case, our solution is very easy to use, and you do not need some really special skills to do that. mysupply does it for you. It saves time, and it highly reduces the efforts for intense negotiations. On top of that, sustainability is a big topic in procurement in the last years, and we hope for it to get bigger in the future as well. So with mysupply, you can automatically import sustainability scores into the negotiations, and you do not need to check every supplier yourself manually. So that's yeah, pretty important for the future of procurement. And on top of that, maybe the most important thing for many companies nowadays is the savings potential, which is 11%. And we want to celebrate the launch event with you today. So we want to offer you a discount for a pilot, which includes the SAP Ariba sourcing integration. And if you book a demo with us and we organize a pilot together, then you get a 2,000 euro discount with the code mysupply_SAP. So do not hesitate to contact us here in LinkedIn or via email or via our Calendly link book a demo. We will organize a demo with your case, explain the whole thing even more detailed to you, and we can start planning your pilot. So thanks to everyone who was watching. We are happy to answer your questions. Do not feel free to reach out however you feel comfortable. And yeah, we hope to see you soon.
Bye-bye.